Stalkers are one of Wildstar's 6 classes. Primarily a melee class, the Stalker can best be associated with the classic rogue. Their innate ability is to cloak themselves, making themselves invisible to enemies unless they get too close. Using large claws, the Stalker's abilities revolve around dealing heavy damage, crippling and stunning enemies, stealing life from them, and moving around the battlefield at a quick pace. A well-played Stalker can lock down and kill enemies very quickly in PvE, and in PvP, a Stalker can be next to impossible to catch. Exile humans, Orin, Mordesh, Cassians, Draken, and Makari can all be Stalkers. Granok and Chua cannot. A Stalker uses a complex nanoskin to go into stealth, use abilities, and activate their claws. This suit has energy, and this is displayed just above the action bar. This energy bar is what limits the Stalker's ability usage. Some abilities generate energy, some spend it, and the bar replenishes swiftly over time. A Stalker has a maximum of 100 energy. A Stalker's toolkit includes Stealth, which can be used out of combat without a cooldown, or in combat with a moderate cooldown. Shred, a free-to-cast simple 3-hit ability. Impale, an energy-costing, hard-hitting ability that deals extra damage from behind. Analyze Weakness, a mark that can be placed on an enemy from stealth without breaking it, that triggers when the Stalker deals damage to them, dealing extra damage. Ruin, a short cooldown area of effect damage over time ability. Cripple, a 3-charge ability that stacks a slow on an enemy in addition to dealing moderate damage. Neutralize, a heavy-hitting, energy-consuming ability that deals damage in an area around the Stalker, increasing in energy cost each time it's used. Punish, a heavy-hitting ability that can only be activated after critically hitting with any other ability. When used, Punish deals damage and regenerates suit energy. Phlebotomize, a ranged attack that deals low damage but halves all healing taken by the victim. This can be used from stealth without breaking it. Clone, which spawns a copy of the Stalker. This clone will stun and attack enemies for damage. Concussive Kicks, a single target heavy damage ability. Nanofield, which channels a lifesteal aura for a few moments and then can be reactivated to detonate and steal more life from nearby enemies. Razor Disc, a ranged attack that reduces its victim's armor. Nanovirus, a short cooldown ability that reduces damage done by an enemy for a few seconds. Stagger, which stuns enemies in front of the Stalker. False Retreat, which makes the Stalker jump backwards and, if reactivated, makes them jump back to their initial position, knocking down nearby enemies. Pounce, a long-range leap attack that snares nearby enemies. Tether Mine, which deploys an invisible mine that shackles an enemy to it, preventing them from moving away for a short time. Tactical Retreat, which reactivates stealth even in combat. Preparation, which channels to regenerate suit energy. These abilities are just a sample of what the Stalker can do, and upgrading a Stalker's abilities can dramatically change their effects by reducing energy costs, adding side effects, or granting additional charges. In PvE content, Stalkers can be either heavy-hitting damage dealers or life-stealing tanks. Although they have a limited amount of self-healing, they are not healers. Stalkers are also very good at soloing content, with a suite of crowd control, single-target and multi-target damage spells, a clone that can help distract enemies, and lifesteal and self-healing tools. This toolkit can allow a Stalker to solo quests designed for multiple people, provided that they can jump in and out of the combat to self-heal and regenerate energy. This doesn't work on every difficult enemy, but it does push Stalkers into a higher echelon of soloing capability. In PvP, Stalkers have 2 distinct advantages. One, they can stealth, allowing them to control almost any fight they get into by attacking and retreating whenever they want. If a fight goes badly, a Stalker has a much higher chance than most classes to get out alive. 2, a Stalker's damage can be front-loaded. That is to say that there is no ramp-up time like other classes, who rely upon generating a resource or casting a spell before they can start dealing damage. A Stalker can instantly dump all of their energy into a burst and then back out, allowing them to fight on their own terms before enemies can really bring their own damage into the equation. That being said, Stalkers are also fairly reliant on gear. Getting out of weak gear as quickly as possible will help a lot. And while leveling up, Stalkers aren't the strongest at dealing with enemies that are higher level than themselves. However, when appropriately geared, a Stalker really comes into its own and can be a lot of fun to play. To conclude, the Stalker is fast-paced, viciously hard-hitting, and very difficult to pin down. When playing as one, the player has a variety of options as to how they wish to engage in combat, with stuns, movement abilities, and combat droppers to control how the fight goes. A Stalker very rarely dies to enemies, unless they're massively outnumbered and they're caught without the means to stealth. This is the Stalker's main weakness. When it is out of tools, the class can be very helpless. Managing your cooldowns and playing unfairly towards your enemies is the key to success. Hit them hard, then back off, then hit them hard again. Don't let them hit back, and you'll be mastering the Stalker in no time. So those are the basics of the Stalker class in Wildstar. You can find more information about Stalkers on the wiki page this video is embedded on. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can find a link to the wiki page in the description below. That's it for now. Thank you very much for watching.